All right. We are live? All right. And welcome everyone to the... we are live. Perfect. And welcome everyone to Hesston High School, the high school softball complex here today for the first game of the season or the first home opener, I should say, for your Hesston College Larks, and they will be taking on the Central Community College Raiders today, and this is the first game of the season here for the Raiders as well. They're on their way to Texas. Larks will be on their way to Texas as well, heading down for the Cowtown Classic, where it's apparently going to be a lot warmer there than it is here. Temperatures right in the mid-50s, but it's overcast with a south wind. This is the Hesston High School softball field, so you are oriented directly facing southwest on the afternoon. Wind will be blowing in from left field. We're just fortunate that we're playing ball in February. Couple of things about us. You guys can text me right here on the broadcast. You can text us at 620-217-1465. Questions, comments, feedback about our broadcast. This is our first one here from the high school, as the normal city ball diamond is still under construction or being worked on. So we're going to kind of be airing out our technical difficulties as we go. And we'll get the innings here taken care of in just a second. It will be the top half of the first coming up. So anyway, I'll get the starting lineups here for Central. Leading off the game will be the pitcher number 2, Ashton Gibson. Shelby Bank bats second, plays third base. Tori Mullen is the center fielder. She is wearing number 11, batting third. In the cleanup spot is a designated player, number 15, Chloe Miller. Alyssa Doherty catches and bats fifth, with Grace Townsend, the first baseman, wearing number 7, batting sixth for the Raiders. Shelby Gerloff bats seventh and plays shortstop. Eighth hole hitter is Sydney Brennig, and she is playing second base today. And rounding out the order is the left fielder, Morgan Pinkelman, with Taylor Griffin, the right fielder, as the flex player for the Raiders. Defensively here for the Larks, Chelsea Smith is on the pitching plate today with Sadie Leatherman behind the dish. Hot corner is Paige Biddle. Jesse Miranda at shortstop. Kaylin Lastly plays second base, and Boo Ruiz over there at first base. Outfielders from left to right, Lexi Avalos, Anissa Aguilar, and Jenna Garcia are how the Larks are lined up defensively. We'd love to hear from you guys. Go ahead and send us a text whether you're a fan of the Larks, fan of the Raiders, or I'm a friendly guy. My name is Rusty, so hopefully we'll have some guys coming up as the season goes on, and we get things straightened up. It just won't be me flying solo. So busy day in Lark athletics tomorrow. The Lark women are playing MCC Penn Valley at 6 o'clock, and then they will be back in action with the Larks at home on Saturday. Tentatively scheduled, Larks are supposed to play baseball on Sunday, but I am afraid that Mother Nature has other options. You guys can also email us too. Drop us a line at golarks@hesston.edu. GOLARKS@hesston.edu, and away we go in the home opener of our contest, as Gibson will step to the plate. Like we said, this is Central's first games of the season. They like to come down and play. They like to play Cloud, County Community College in Concordia, stop off, play us, and then head to Texas where it's going to be warmer climate. And the first pitch of the home opener is a strike to Gibson from Chelsea Smith. And that pitch will be high, and the count quickly evens at a ball and a strike. So the 1-1 from Chelsea. Swing and a miss from Gibson, and Gibson is behind 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Chelsea will be... She came in with her first start the other day, took a loss against Dodge City yesterday. That's a line drive base hit up the middle. And right away, Gibson's with a little single, and Central with a runner on. And none away here in the top of the first. So runner aboard with none away, and Chelsea working. That is on the ground, a little bunt. Chelsea's only played a first base with Kalen covering. Throw over to third, and these Larks roll up the double play on the 1-3 or 1-4-5 double play. Gibson was off and running, and just like that, there are 2 away, and none out here in the top of the first. All right, now we got the innings up. Again, you guys can text us, send us a text at 620-217-1465. 2 away here, and Mullen fouls that one back, as this is Torrey Mullen, the center fielder. So nifty little double play to take away the threat from the Raiders. And the count 0-1. That one's fouled back and off of the umpire. And the count quickly 0-2 here to Mullen, with Miller awaiting. So Ashton Gibson quickly out to batting 1,000 for the season as she singled her first at bat. The 0-2 from Chelsea. Just outside, and the count now even moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Chelsea getting her sign, delivers, swing and a miss as she took something off that, and Central goes down after a base hit and a double play, and we will go to the bottom of the first with no score for the Larks coming up, and we'll take a look at the Lark batting order. Jessie Miranda will lead things off here for the Larks, followed by Kaylin Lastly. Lexi Avalos plays left fielder, bats third, with Sadie Leatherman behind the dish batting in the cleanup spot. Amy Bertato bats fifth with the designated player role, with Paige Biddle, third baseman, batting sixth. Anissa Aguilar batting seventh, playing center field, followed by Boo Ruiz, who is at first base today, batting eighth. And Jenna Garcia will round out the order here for the Larks, and she plays right field. Defensively, Pinkelman is out in left, with Mullen in center and Griffith over in right. Bank at third base for the Raiders, with Gerloff and Brennig up the middle, Townsend over their first base, Gibson on the hill, and Doherty behind the dish. So that's where we stand defensively for the Raiders. Offensively for the Larks, they were led this weekend by Amy Bertato. Bertato with a 400 batting average, or yesterday I should say. She was 2 for 5. Did hit a home run, drove in 3. She's batting 400 in the early part of the season. Larks dropped yesterday's action 5-3 and 3-1 to Dodge City. So Coach Sharp and I were talking. He said they are playing 9 games in 5 days. They'll go to Texas for 5 on Friday and Saturday total. And they are playing. This is game number 3 and game number 4 before the trip down to Texas. Apparently it's going to be 78 degrees down in Texas, and I bet they're going to be enjoying that, as we're going to be stuck in snow up here and a little bit of ice here in Kansas. I think Nebraska's supposed to be even worse with more snow. So Gibson on the hill for her first outing of the season, and Jessie Miranda will dig in, the lefty slap hitter. She was 1 for 6 in yesterday's action, batting 167. And the first pitch she sees is a strike over the outer half. So Gibson gets her sign for the catcher, Doherty, delivering, and that one too far out, and the count now evens up at a ball and a strike. We're not even a full inning in, and I already missed Jasmine Pankrat, so if Jazz is tuning in, we miss you tons. The 1-1 coming up, that's a hot shot grounder on the third base side for a base hit, and Jessie is aboard, as that is exactly what you want out of your lefty slapper, to get aboard and bring up Kaylin Lastly. Kaylin yesterday 1 for 5, drew a walk. And so back-to-back lefties here for the Larks. And Kaylin takes a little swing at to protect herself, hit and run, and safely with the swipe was Jesse, and Jesse's aboard with the stolen base. That'll be the first stolen base of the season for the Larks. So Jesse quickly in scoring position for the lefty Kalen. Kalen shows bunt. The pitch stays too high upstairs, and we're even at a ball and a strike in the bottom of the first. Okay. Kalen offers at it, and she is quickly behind 1-2 here in the bottom of the first after the bunt attempt, with the corner infielders charging. Larks quickly trying to get a run across. That's Coach Sharp over there at third base calling out the signs. Kalen with a little check herself swing, and she is behind on the strikeout. So one away here as Kalen goes down on the swing, and that'll bring up Lexi Avalos. Lexi also 1 for 6 yesterday. And Lexi takes a ball, and that one getting by the third baseman, but Jesse will stay at third. Now the bobble out there by left fielder, and crossing the plate on the error was Jesse. So Jesse with a swipe, and then scores on the error, and the Larks have the lead. 1-0 with 1 out here, and a 1-ball count to Lexi. So 3 quick lefties here for the Larks. And Lexi looks at the strike on the outer corner as we are even up 1 ball, 1 strike. Lexi takes strike 2 on the outside half. Gibson looking like she likes to paint that corner. Lexi with a swing, and Lexi striking out. Couldn't get it to work. And now 2 away here in the bottom of the first. We turned off the bottom part too, Skylar said too, but we had juice up there to the point where it was... That pitch too far outside here for catcher Sadie Leatherman from Gibson. So 2 away here. Larks have scratched 1 across in the bottom of the first. As this field sits right close to Heston Elementary School. Part of a great little complex here. That pitch rising, and a count 2 balls, no strikes. Right across the street to our east is the Heston Aquatic Center, the pool, and then the Heston High School baseball field. And Heston High School baseball is just a little bit to the south and the east of that. Gibson misses low and away, and the count now 3 balls and no strikes. And the 3-0 coming up. That pitch across for the strike on the 3-0. Got a text saying, Ron, Chelsea Smith's father, thank you for the commentary. It's awesome. I live in Washington State, so this is wonderful. Probably a little bit nicer up there than it is here. I don't know. Could be either. And a swing and a miss from Sadie, and the count now even moves full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So. The static kicked in once or twice, but other than that, we couldn't get the even PA to go. Swing and a miss. Sadie goes down on the strikes. And so we'll move to the top of the second with the Larks leading 1-0. Back after this here.
When we all work together to see what we can collaborate on and how things are going to work together.
I really love that moment when I see a student finally connect with their character. I stop seeing them and I begin seeing the character.
It was important for us to get a page up for managing the social media of the theater department, especially to show what's going on with the show, what's going on with future productions.
I can go in any direction that I want.
I want to give my best, and I want to do my best here.
College was the best decision that I could have made for the first 2 years of college. I'm a go-getter, a thinker, I like to be challenged, and I'm getting all that here at Heston. I'm living in a mod with people from all around the world, which is feeding my thirst for a broader worldview. I'm on a first-name basis with my teachers, which is really emphasizing this community that is so present at Heston. And so I'm really glad that I chose to start here at Heston College because I've been given the tools and the mindset to go everywhere.
And welcome back here to the Heston High School softball field. Rusty Witcher with you here on the Lark Network. And Chelsea Smith's dad saying it's pretty snowy up there in Washington, so we're sitting about 48 degrees the opening pitch. They obviously whiffed on the weather forecast, which they're really good at in February. So we'll go to the bottom of the top of the second here with Chloe Miller, Doherty, and Townsend all due up here for the Raiders of Central Community College from Columbus. About a 4-hour drive. And Chelsea's first pitch upstairs for a ball to Chloe Miller. A doubleheader here, scheduled 4-2. That one too far and in, and the count now 2 balls, no strikes here to Miller. It's like we said in the open, this is Central's first games of the season. They were on tap to they were supposed to play Cloud, as I was trying to say, and there's a pitch missing in the count. Now 3 balls, no strikes. There's a strike to Miller, and the count now 3 balls, 1 strike. Good hitter's count here. Swing and a miss by Miller, and the count now is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the payoff pitch here. Strike 3 called, and Miller goes down looking. It's Chelsea's second strikeout of the... Yep. Now stepping in will be the catcher, Alyssa Doherty, with 1 away here in the top of 2. There's a strike on the off speed from Chelsea. Elementary school out today, as you can see. And I see golf coach Chris Franz's son hamming it up in the outfield. Swing and a miss by Doherty, and she's quickly behind 0-2. With 1 out here in the top of the second. That one downstairs missing, kicking back. As that. And the count 1 ball, 2 strikes. I don't either. The 1-2 coming up here for Doherty from Chelsea Smith. Chelsea deals. Swing and a miss on the upstairs changeup. And there are 2 away here for Central of Columbus, Nebraska. So this will bring up Grace Townsend, first baseman. There's a foul ball on the right side. And Townsend quickly down the count with a strike. Again, we'd love to hear from you, whether you're a fan of the Raiders, fan of the Larks. Send us a text, 620-217-1465. It's up there on the screen as well. Or you can drop us a line, golarks@heston.edu. That one misses upstairs, and the count now evens up at 1-1. So Chelsea gets her sign, delivers. On the ground at Jesse Miranda. Miranda feels it, tosses over to Boo, and the Raiders go quietly on the 6-3 ground out. 1-2-3. We'll be back with the bottom of the second after this here on the Lark Network.
It happens every semester. The students actually do their own cooking. They also coordinate songs, coordinate dances. It gives our students a chance to say, these are the things that are great about my home country that I could bring to you.
Generation is on the forefront because of different discoveries in genetics and chemistry. I have a professor that's passionate about it. It helps me kind of realize the potential of the field.
What are problems that you, as you grow up as students, are going to have to deal with? And the more informed you can be, the better prepared you're going to be. There's this constellation of different interests that students often have and are able to move out and head in different directions.
Yeah, they were about even beforehand. Yeah. We're going to change things and we can, yeah. Yep. And welcome back here to the bottom of the second for the Larks here on the Lark Network. Rusty Witcher sitting here by myself along with Toby, who's operating our camera, doing a great job. Like the shout out, Toby? All right. Amy Bertato stepping in, and Amy had herself a day yesterday, 2 for 5 with a home run and 3 driven in the Larks' losses. She drew a walk, so she's got a on-base percentage of 500 and slugging at 1,200, and Amy takes a strike here from Gibson. Paige Biddle on deck, followed by Anissa Aguilar. And the 0-1, and that is tapped foul. And the count quickly now 0-2, and Amy is behind. All right, getting text here. Speaking of Amy, getting text from Whittier Cali. And this is from Amy's folks. Go Larks. That's a little pop-up on the first base side, fielded cleanly by Townsend. And there's one away. That will bring up Paige Biddle. Paige, the third baseman, was 0 for 1 yesterday. So looking for her first hit of the season. This is game number 3 for the Larks. And Paige takes the pitch inside from Gibson that just moved on Gibson towards the inner half. And too far in, drifted all the way into the batter's box where Paige stepped out of the way. There's a pitch that catching the outside corner, and the count quickly even at 1-1 to Paige. Paige fly ball left side, that'll be out of play. And I think that did not, it traveled to Ridge Road, we think, but did not hit a car. Count now 1-2 to Paige with 1 away. Paige hot shot grounder, but that will drift foul. And the count still riding at 1-2. This is on deck. And here's the 1-2. Fly ball right side, and Griffin settles underneath it on the run, making a nice little catch out there in right field, and there are 2 away. Griffin had to move enough, made the play moving to her left. That'll bring up Nissa. Nissa looking for her first hit on the season. She was 0 for 6 yesterday. Good time to get it with 2 outs as Nissa first pitch swing, pops it up, and that will be out of play. Oh, Nissa was telling me before the game was cold. I said, welcome to February softball in Kansas. Gibson deals. Fly ball center field going back, but that will hang up in the wind. And Mullen makes the comes down with an error, and Nis is aboard to second. Mullen couldn't come up with it, and Nis is aboard on the error, taking second base. That'll bring up Boo. As we said, that wind blowing in, that was a shot that might have had a chance on a non-windy day. Boo steps up. She was 0 for 3 yesterday. And Boo looks to pitch. It's too high. 4-1 ball. The 1-0 coming up with a runner on second. Boo shows bunt. Nis taking off and runs into the out. A good throw and a good hangover there by Gerloff to come up with the out. So that will do it. Larks cannot come across with the threat. Boo will come back to bat when we come back when they come back. We'll be back with the top of the third here on the Lark Network.
When we all work together to see what we can collaborate on and how things are going to work together.
I really love that moment when I see a student finally connect with their character. I stop seeing them and I begin seeing the character.
It was important for us to get a page up for managing the social media of the theater department, especially to show what's going on with the show, what's going on with future productions.
I can go in any direction that I want.
I want to give my best, and I want to do my best here.
Act like it was powering up.
College was the best decision that I could have made for the first 2 years of college. I'm a go-getter, a thinker, I like to be challenged, and I'm getting all that here at Heston. I'm living in a mod with people from all around the world, which is feeding my thirst for a broader worldview. I'm on a first-name basis with my teachers, which is really emphasizing this community that is so present at Heston. And so I'm really glad that I chose to start here at Heston College because I've been given the tools and the mindset to go everywhere.
And welcome back here as we'll head to the top of the third. This game moving right along. Got a text from Manissa's parents that I didn't get to, so I apologize if I'm a little slow on the text, as this is Shelby Gerloff. And Gerloff takes a strike to start her at bat. We're in the top of the third. Larks leading 1-0. That one stays low, and we're quickly even at a ball and a strike here to Gerloff. And swing and a miss as Gerloff goes after the rise ball from Chelsea. Chelsea did come in today with an ERA of 7.00. That one too far inside. It will hit Gerloff, and she will take the free base on the hit by pitch. Shelby Brennan coming to bat now with a runner aboard, none out. Okay, so I did not know that. It's a Nis's birthday. So happy birthday to Nis from Bailey and Kelly. That one downstairs. Sadie having trouble with it, but fortunately hangs on. Gerloff stays at first base. The 1-0 coming up. Little bunt popped up. Boo, the only place she can go is for first base with the tag. And Gerloff slides over to second. Thanks, Clint. Well, at least we're trying to get things ironed out now. Morgan Pinkelman stepping in here in the top of the third. Tying run aboard, and Pinkelman does offer at that on the little bit of the lefty attempt at the slap. Glad you guys are along for the ride. That's a strike on the outside corner, and Pinkelman quickly behind 0-1 with Gibson on deck. She has the only hit so far for the Raiders. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, and Pinkelman is retired on strikes. And they're 2 away here for the Raiders. As this brings back up Gibson. Gibson did single in her first at bat. She went right back up the middle for the nice little line drive base knock. That's popped straight up. And Sadie trying to make a play, but it'll drift on the gets up in the Kansas jet stream and goes back and out of play. Wind blowing in at about 18 to 20, gusting to 28, and it's blowing almost straight in from left. We've played softball in a lot worse conditions. That pitch misses upstairs, and the count is even, 1 ball, 1 strike. So the count even at a ball and a strike here for Gibson. That one too far in. The count even 2-1 with Gerloff over there at second base representing the tying run. Got a text saying, "Good luck, Larks. Let's go boo from Dad." So a lot of fans watching this. Love that. That's on the ground. Chelsea gloves it, tosses over to Boo, and the threat is retired. So after 2.5, Larks lead 1-0. We'll be back after this here on the Lark Network.
Generation is on the forefront because of different discoveries in genetics and chemistry. I have a professor that's passionate about it. It helps me kind of realize the potential of the field.
What are problems that you, as you grow up as students, are going to have to deal with? And the more informed you can be, the better prepared you're going to be. There's this constellation of different interests that students often have and are able to move out and head in different directions.
Generation is on the forefront because of different discoveries in genetics and chemistry. I have a professor that's passionate about it. It helps me kind of realize the potential of the field.
What are problems that you, as you grow up as students, are going to have to deal with? And the more informed you can be, the better prepared you're going to be. There's this constellation of different interests that students often have and are able to move out and head in different directions.
What? And welcome back here to the Hesston High School softball complex. Boo Ruiz to lead things off in the bottom of the third. Larks clinging to the 1-0 lead. Boo was at the dish when Nis was caught stealing over there at third base. So Boo gets a fresh set of pitches to look at. And Boo takes a strike. A little bit of a change up there from Gibson. That one's too far outside, and we're quickly even at 1-1. That one drifting too far in. It looks like Gibson's may have slipped just a little bit delivering that pitch. The count now even, or moves to 2 balls, 1 strike. Boo with a healthy hack at the rise ball, and we're quickly even 2-2. Jenna on deck with Jesse to follow. Boo, fly ball right side. And that will drop foul as Townsend couldn't come up with it. She wasn't sure where the fence was, and Boo has new life. And Boo now with a little bit of batter's box disco dancing. She's staying alive. Oh, it's fun to dust off and say. So here comes the 2-2 once again. And that will hit Boo in the elbow, and Boo will be aboard as she was plunked by the pitch. Caught her in the... Check that. Okay, maybe not. I guess they said it was a foul ball. I thought it got her on the elbow. So the count remaining 2 balls, 2 strikes. Another Deuces Wild pitch coming up. I thought that got her in the elbow, and Boo goes down swinging. And there's one away. Jenna Garcia steps up to the dish, and Jenna's also looking for her first hit of the season. Jenna wanted to fight me before the game. I'm not sure why. And Jenna looks to pitch outside, and the count 1 ball. Jesse Miranda on deck as there's one out here. There's a strike to Jenna, and the count now even at a ball and a strike. Jenna lays the bunt down but fouls it off, and the count now quickly moving to 1 ball and 2 strikes to the sophomore from Hutch. So here comes the 1-2. Jenna swings and misses, and she is retired on strikes. That's the 5th strikeout so far for Gibson. 2 away for Jesse. Jesse singled on a hot shot past the shortstop, Gerloff. So a lot of lefties in Coach Sharp's lineup. That one misses outside from Gibson. So the 1-0 coming up, and the off-speed riser, almost a changeup that did not drop in, misses high, and the count now quickly 2-0 to Jesse. The pitch from Gibson drifts high, and the count now 3 balls, no strikes. So 2 outs and none on. You can bet that, I would guess, that Jesse's bat will be glued to her shoulder. And just an easy strike there for Gibson. Now the momentum swings back to Jesse in the hitter's count. 3-1 hitter's count. So Jesse can shrink that zone. She lays a little bunt down, and it will spiral and be foul. Too much backspin on it, and the count now full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So the count is full for Gibson. Jesse did score the only run of the game after stealing 2 bases, then advancing on the error. And that one's poked foul. And the count stays 3 balls and 2 strikes. The softball chants coming from the Lark dugout. Jesse rips it, but it's going to be foul off the right side on top of the dugout. So the high school did a good job of building this complex, building this field. Hopefully the college can take some as next season the construction will start here on the softball field for next year. On the ground of the shortstop, Gerloff. No, gloved by the third baseman. And in time, Bank with a play. That was a bang-bang play by Bank. As if Bank did a great job, because if she doesn't get that, Gerloff doesn't have a play, and I think Jesse's aboard. But the Larks go quietly 1-2-3. We've played 3 here. Larks lead 1-0. We'll be back after this on the Lark Network.
Generation is on the forefront because of different discoveries in genetics and chemistry. I have a professor that's passionate about it. It helps me kind of realize the potential of the field.
What are problems that you, as you grow up as students, are going to have to deal with? And the more informed you can be, the better prepared you're going to be. There's this constellation of different interests that students often have and are able to move out and head in different directions.
And welcome back to Heston, the Heston softball field for the high school, Heston Softball Complex. We're situated right at the middle school, or the elementary school. That is the elementary school in the background. School's out for the day now. A flurry of activity there with all the kids being picked up. Shelby Bank, who made a nice play over there at third base, will lead the 4th off. Larks clean to that 1-run lead, and the Raiders trying to answer back. So, Chelsea, that one's fouled back into the glove of Sadie, 1 strike. Chelsea did have 4 strikeouts yesterday, 6 walks in her work. And Chelsea misses with the change. And the count quickly even at 1 ball, 1 strike. Chelsea takes something off that one, and Bank cannot catch up to it, and the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Larks men and women's basketball team, they're at KCK tonight. That one fouled back to the fence, and Bank stays alive. So the count 1-2 now to Shelby Bank. Bank did ground into that double play in the first. She's 0 for 1. That's a hot shot, base hit right field. Jenna tries to snap a throw over, but not in time. Bank legs it out for the 2nd hit of the game for the Raiders, and a runner aboard with 9 out. Mullins struck out in her first at bat. She's 0 for 1. The Larks getting out some defensive calls from the dugout. They're being signaled in. So Mullen, first pitch swinging, fouled it off. We're in the 4th, and I like what Chelsea's been doing, mixing up locations, mixing up speed. Sun trying to creep through the clouds. It'd be nice if it would. It'd warm up a little bit. Mullen offers at it, and now she's quickly behind 0-2. Of course, we'll take this press box over to the press box at the City Ball Diamond when it was just a wooden structure with no walls. The wind would howl, and it would not be cool. And a swing and a miss for Mullen. Chloe Miller stepping up. She struck out her first at bat looking. And Miller looks at one up by her eyes for a ball. Doherty on deck. Fifth strikeout. That was the fifth for Chelsea. Swing and a miss on the fastball, and the count is even at 1-1. Head coach Jack Gutierrez is over there giving Miller some advice from the third base box. Chelsea takes something off, but it stays low, and the count now 2-1 strike. And the 2-1 coming up. Swing and a miss. Runner goes, and Jesse knocks it down on the throw. Banks swiping second. The first stolen base of the year now for the Raiders. It's easy when it's the only games they've played so far. And the 2-2 coming up. Strike 3 called. And now there are 2 away. Miller goes down frozen at the dish for the second time today, and that'll bring up Doherty. Doherty struck out, and so Chelsea trying to work out a leadoff runner jam. That one downstairs. Nice stop by Sadie for the first ball to Doherty. Fly ball right side, left side, and that'll be out of play, and the count now even 1-1. And that one went all the way over towards the Aquatic Center in King Park. And so our count stays 1-1. That pitch drifting upstairs, and now Doherty ahead at 2-1 strike. The 2-1 coming up here for Chelsea. Fouled back and out of play. Or off the screen, I should say. And the count now even 2-2. Lots of deuces across the top of that scoreboard. Deuce is wild, as they say. These two pitchers working on quick games. One misses upstairs, and we're full 3-2 strikes. Some great hang by Sadie on the pitch that got away from Chelsea. And the big payoff pitch coming up. Line drive, that'll be in the gap. That will tie the game. That'll get out to the fence. As Banks scores easy, Doherty will pull into second with a stand-up double. And the first run driven in on the season for Central. We're all knotted up at a run apiece. And Grace Townsend coming to bat. Looks like we might have a potential change of runner here. Let me see that one, John, for just a second. And they'll bring in Jessica Sabota. So Sabota coming to run. As Townsend steps up. As we're all knotted up at 1 apiece after the double for Doherty. My guess will be Sabota will come in and then re-enter. Doherty will re-enter. Swing and a miss from Townsend. With Gerloff on deck, she was hit by a pitch. Townsend grounded out her first at bat. She grounded out to Jessie Miranda over there at short. Chelsea misses just a little bit high, and we're all even at a ball and a strike. Again, feel free to text us. Questions, comments, feedback about this. Cruising right along. We're all even at a ball and a strike here with 2 outs and a runner on. Swing and a miss. Townsend chasing outside, and she's quickly behind 1 and 2. So Chelsea working ahead. And the 1-2 payoff. That will miss outside, and we're even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Not a full payoff pitch, so to speak. Count wasn't full, but once again we go to Deuces Wild across the top of the scoreboard with 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Strike 3 called. Townsend frozen at the dish as Chelsea striking out the side. And we will go to the bottom of the 4th. Larks and Raiders all tied up at 1 apiece.
Generation is on the forefront because of different discoveries in genetics and chemistry. I have a professor that's passionate about it. It helps me kind of realize the potential of the field.
What are problems that you, as you grow up as students, are going to have to deal with? And the more informed you can be, the better prepared you're going to be. There's this constellation of different interests that students often have and are able to move out and head in different directions.
It happens every semester. The students actually do their own cooking. They also coordinate songs, coordinate dances. It gives our students a chance to say, these are the things that are great about my home country that I could bring to you.
And welcome back here to the Hesston Softball Complex, the Hesston High School Softball Complex. Let's go Sadie and the Larks. Let's get some hits from Mom and Dad. Kaylin Lastly, Lexi Avalos, and Sadie Leatherman all due up here for the Larks in the bottom of the 4th. We're all knotted up at 1 run apiece. This game just cruising by. So Kaylin struck out her first time up. So 5 strikeouts so far for Ashton Gibson. As Kaylin looks like at ball 1. Kaylin takes a strike on the inner corner, and we're quickly even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Change up from Gibson, fooling Kaylin, and the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kaylin obviously looking for something different, and she's quickly behind. Kaylin looking to collect her 2nd hit of the season after yesterday's action. Kaylin on the ground with the shortstop, Gerloff gloving it, toss over, and safe over there. The throw pulling Townsend off the bag. Tag misses, and Kaylin aboard. And I'm not sure, but they might charge an error to that. Head coach Jack Gutierrez coming out to talk it over. And got the explanation he wanted. Now brings up Lexi with a runner aboard. So the go-ahead run now for the Larks aboard with none out. Wind swirling a little bit. The first pitch too far away. For a ball for Lexi. Lex looking for her 2nd hit of the season. Next time you'll see the Larks will be next week, I believe. And they will have averages by then after 5 games in Texas. Lexi misses down the left side with a base hit. Or with a frozen rope that just drift foul, I should say. Excuse me. So our count now even at 1-1. Lexi fouls it back and off of the fence, or the screen here, which I really hope that the college takes a page when they're designing that, puts up the netting. It's really easy to see through for the most part. It's pretty crisp on our screen. It looks pretty good through that rather than the chain link. And the 1-2 coming up, that will be upstairs, and we're even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So the 2-2 coming up here for Gibson. That's on the ground at Gerloff. Gerloff booting it around, has to go to first, and in time on the stretch over there. Gerloff came up, and that hit her hard. Kaylin moves up, but Lexi with the ground out. And there's one out now. Townsend with a nice stretch over there. So one away for Sadie with a runner on. Sadie fly ball left side. In the wind, could be trouble, and that will drop foul. That wind will make this ball do funky things out there. And there's really nothing to block the wind except for the houses. And it kind of wraps around the building at the elementary school, so it can do some weird things. Sadie quickly behind with a strike. That pitch too far out, and a nice hang by Doherty. That one pops straight up and out of play, and we are quickly even at 1-2. That one missing, and we're even now. We're even 2 balls, 2 strikes here to Sadie. Sadie rips off line drive, but that will turn and be foul. That ball can straighten out. There are trucks and cars in the parking lot in danger. So we'll remain 2 balls, 2 strikes. With one away, and Kaylin over there at second base. That one drifting low, and we're full 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kaylin dancing away at second base. She'll scoot back. The 3-2. Sadie fly ball. That'll hang up in the wind, but that could be an adventure out there for Pinkelman. Pinkelman settles underneath it and makes the play. So there are 2 away now. On the fly out, Pinkelman was back and then settled underneath that ball, just hanging up in the wind. 2 away for Amy Bertato now. Amy, a little flare, that'll trickle away foul. The 0-1 coming up. Amy fooled on the changeup, and she's quickly behind 0-2. The count 0-2 to the freshman. That one stays downstairs. Amy laying off. And we're moving 1 ball, 2 strikes. Caitlin's still over there at second base. The go-ahead run over there in the bottom of the 4th. And Amy looks at the ball upstairs, and now the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sun really creeping through. It's actually pleasant in here. The 2-2. Way outside, and we're full 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Amy has battled back, and now she is ahead in the count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Full count and a payoff pitch here from Ashton Gibson. Amy fly ball, that'll be up there. That is a towering fly ball. And the play made over there in foul territory by Gerloff. Gerloff tracking it down. So the Larks strand a runner will go to the top of the 5th with the Larks and the Raiders all knotted up at 1. Back after this on the Lark Network.
Generation is on the forefront because of different discoveries in genetics and chemistry. I have a professor that's passionate about it. It helps me kind of realize the potential of the field.
What are problems that you, as you grow up as students, are going to have to deal with? And the more informed you can be, the better prepared you're going to be. There's this constellation of different interests that students often have and are able to move out and head in different directions.
When we all work together to see what we can collaborate on and how things are going to work together.
I really love that moment when I see a student finally connect with their character. I stop seeing them and I begin seeing the character.
It was important for us to get a page up for managing the social media of the theater department, especially to show what's going on with the show, what's going on with future productions.
I can go in any direction that I want.
I want to give my best, and I want to do my best here.
And welcome back to the top of the 5th here for the Central Community College Raiders from Columbus. Dustin Gallion yesterday announcing on Twitter that he signed a player. Michael McKinney from Wichita East High School, point guard. So Chelsea coming to work here in the 5th, all knotted up at a run apiece. Shelby Gerloff was hit by a pitch, and she first pitch swing pops it up. That could stay, but it will get up in the wind and blow out of play. We're glad you guys are along for the ride here on the Lark Network. Rusty Witcher, voice of the Larks. I've been doing it for a long time now. Someone asked me that the other day. This is year number 15. Outside corner from Chelsea to Gerloff, and the count now 0-2. Gerloff calling for time as Chelsea wants to go through her signs again. A little different system the Larks use. A lot more places are going to this, a numeric-based system where it's a combination of numbers to call the pitch. On the ground, and that is fouled off. And the count stays 0-2. So Gerloff now quickly behind. Chelsea way ahead. And comes upstairs for the strikeout. Another strikeout for Chelsea. Eight strikeouts so far for Chelsea in this contest. It's kind of nice when you can lean on student assistant Ashley Yazen, who obliterated the record book for strikeouts. Actually led the nation at one point in strikeouts last season. Ash on the staff as a student assistant. The first pitch to Brennig missing upstairs, 1 ball. The 1-0 coming up. That one staying downstairs from Chelsea. And Brennig now ahead. She grounded out to Boo in her first at bat. Over there at first base. That ball turned over perfectly for a strike. And the count now 2 balls, 1 strike. So the 2-1 coming up. That one's fouled back to the fence. And the count now evens at 2-2. One out here in the top of the 5th. And Chelsea's pitch drifts upstairs, and we're full 3 balls and 2 strikes. Fly ball left side, but that will hang up in the wind. Lexi tracked it perfectly. And there's 2 away. That's the first fly out of the game here for Central. That'll bring up Morgan Pinkelman. Pinkelman chasing a pitch inside for strike 1. On the ground, gloved by Jesse, throw to Boo in time. And Central goes down quietly, 1-2-3. We played 4.5. All scores knotted up at 1 run apiece. We'll be back after this on the Lark Network.
When we all work together to see what we can collaborate on and how things are going to work together.
I really love that moment when I see a student finally connect with their character. I stop seeing them and I begin seeing the character.
It was important for us to get a page up for managing the social media of the theater department, especially to show what's going on with the show, what's going on with future productions.
I can go in any direction that I want.
I want to give my best, and I want to do my best here.
When we all work together to see what we can collaborate on and how things are going to work together.
I really love that moment when I see a student finally connect with their character. I stop seeing them and I begin seeing the character.
It was important for us to get a page up for managing the social media of the theater department, especially to show what's going on with the show, what's going on with future productions.
I can go in any direction that I want.
I want to give my best, and I want to do my best here.
And here we come. Bottom of the 5th coming up. Got a text message during the break. Hey, Rusty from cold, blustery Pennsylvania. Nice to see warmer temperatures in Kansas from Don Sharp, head coach. Andy Sharp's dad, as Paige Biddle digging in here. Paige flew out to right field in her first at bat. Paige, a line drive hot shot that's right past Bank, and Paige with the laser beam base hit. So Paige aboard with her first hit of the season. And that brings up Anissa. So Nis reached on an error out there and then was caught stealing. I mean, that was a first pitch swinging laser beam. Hey, Gibson dealing. Nis lays the bunt down right back to Gibson. Gibson's only play over to first base, and she tosses it away. Paige going to third. Nissa taking a second, and the Larks have damage done after the error. Gibson couldn't hang on to it, and that will bring up a quick visit to the mound from head coach Jack Gutierrez after the Larks now have runners in scoring position. So the sun came out, Dawn, if you were curious, and temperature, actually there's a 5 in front of our temperature now. As they're still talking about it. Gutierrez talking some strategy here. 51 degrees, Sun poking through. They called for a high of 59, but of course they whiffed. Well, we'll take it. It's supposed to be 54 tomorrow, but rain and snow and ice on Friday, and more snow possibly on Monday. Makes it tough to fish. Not to say we won't try. Great bunt, Anissa, from Dad. So Nis doing her job perfectly. She's reached twice today after errors. So Boo steps up. Boo struck out in her first at bat. But Boo with a chance to get a run across if she can find some green. Or even a sacrifice fly here. Boo, first pitch swinging, lofts it out to left field. Play is made by Pinkelman. Page coming home, and Boo gets the RBI sacrifice fly. So an out across, but a run for the Larks. And Nissa staying at second base with one away. Jenna stepping in. Jenna struck out her first at bat. Larks now leading 2-1. Jenna lays the bunt down, and that dives right where it needs to be. And Jenna aboard with a bunt single. A great bunt by Jenna. It will go down in the book as a single, and Anissa moves to third. So now runners at the corners. It was a perfect bunt for Jenna. It died right where it needed to be, and that gets the order to the top with Jessie Miranda, who's 1 for 2. So runners at the corners here for the Larks. Gibson in a bit of a struggle. Larks lead 2-1. And Jenna takes the first pitch upstairs for a ball. Another bunt laid down, squeeze play coming, and the Larks take another run on the squeeze play and an RBI bunt single for Jessie. Jenna moves up to second base, and the Larks have now scratched 2 across and now lead 3-1. That'll bring up Kalen. So back-to-back small ball bunts, catching the Raiders off guard a little bit, and 2 runs across, and the Larks have stretched the lead to 3-1. Another text saying, happy birthday, Anissa, from your favorite Uncle John. So happy birthday to Anissa. Kalen stepping up. She's 0 for 2. And looks at one inside. So 2 aboard and 1 out for Kalen, and the Larks with a chance to break this game open as they put the crooked number on the board with 2 runs in this inning. Little flare, if that drops in, could be trouble, but it stays foul. Kalen almost pool cued that. She was so far in front of off the end of the bat. We're even at 1-1. So a couple of back-to-back bunt singles here for the Larks. And they count 1-1 as Kalen looks at one way outside, and the count now 2 balls and a strike. That pitch missing away. They count 3-1 now to Kalen. Kalen golfs 1 foul, and we're full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Our count full, 3-2. Kaylin, a hot shot left. That'll be a base hit for Kaylin. Booted out in left field. Jenna on her way home. And Kaylin taking second. Kaylin gets the base hit, the RBI. Takes second. And that'll bring up Lexi as the Larks score again and add their third run of the inning. The score quickly moving to 4-1 here for the Larks. Pinkelman had that one kick away. So 2 on. With 1 out, Larks have broken this open. They've scored 3 so far. Another text saying, "Let's go Larks," from Anissa's dad. That will bring up Lexi. It looks like we might be getting a change made here. So head coach Jack Gutierrez talking something over with the home plate umpire. And that might close the book on Gibson. And now, well, Gibson done for the day. It looks like they're going to... Chloe Miller going into designated is going to come into pitch. So we'll take a break and be back after this here on the Lark Network.
Generation is on the forefront because of different discoveries in genetics and chemistry. I have a professor that's passionate about it. It helps me kind of realize the potential of the field.
What are problems that you, as you grow up as students, are going to have to deal with? And the more informed you can be, the better prepared you're going to be. There's this constellation of different interests that students often have and are able to move out and head in different directions.
College was the best decision that I could have made for the first 2 years of college. I'm a go-getter, a thinker, I like to be challenged, and I'm getting all that here at Heston. I'm living in a mod with people from all around the world, which is feeding my thirst for a broader worldview. I'm on a first-name basis with my teachers, which is really emphasizing this community that is so present at Heston. And so I'm really glad that I chose to start here at Heston College because I've been given the tools and the mindset to go everywhere.
And welcome back here to the softball field, the Heston Sports Complex. As Lexi Avlo stepping in, Lex 0 for 2, but the Larks have scratched 3 across on 3 straight singles, 4 hits in the inning, a sacrifice fly, and 3 runs driven in, and the Larks now leading 4-1 with 1 out, and Lex stepping in. Chloe Miller into pitch here, and Miller misses upstairs on the first pitch. So the 1-0 coming up. That one too high again. Miller now behind 0-2. Big inning here for the Larks as they've scratched 3 across, but 2 on and only 1 out. So a couple ducks on the pond, and Lex grounder at third base. Throw over, gunned up, and a nice play from Bank to Townsend for the second out. Sadie Letterman stepping in. Sadie's 0 for 2. Sadie struck out her first at bat and then flew out to deep left field. Miller missing outside and away. Lark women's basketball team having a Valentine's Day special tomorrow night. They'll host KCK at 6 o'clock. hosting Penn Valley. There's a line drive, base hit, right field for Sadie. Another run coming in, a second on the heels, and Sadie with a 2-run single. And the Larks tack 2 more up on the 2-out single and 2 runs driven in. And just like that, it's 6-1 for Amy as the Larks have blown this game wide open. Big crooked number with 5 across in the inning. Amy 0 for 2. And Miller deals and misses upstairs. And the 0-1. Excuse me, 1-0 missing outside as Sadie will take second on the pass ball. Or wild pitch, whichever you want to call. I don't know if how you come up with that. Sadie's mom and dad like that as they sent me a text saying, "Woohoo, Sadie." Central fans, don't be afraid to text us either. We'd love to hear from you guys. And that's a cross for a strike to Amy. The 2-1. Amy a little bit behind it, fouls it off into the batting cage. And the count moves to 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bottom of 5 here. Larks have scratched 5 across in the 5th. As we're all even up count-wise, 2 balls, 2 strikes. On the ground, gloved by Bank. The toss over, and a good hang over there at first base by Townsend. The Larks send 9 batters to the plate. 5 runs in the inning. Will go to the top of the 6th. Larks leading now 6-1. Back after this here on the Lark Network.
It happens every semester. The students actually do their own cooking. They also coordinate songs, coordinate dances. It gives our students a chance to say, these are the things that are great about my home country that I could bring to you.
When we all work together to see what we can collaborate on and how things are going to work together.
I really love that moment when I see a student finally connect with their character. I stop seeing them and I begin seeing the character.
It was important for us to get a page up for managing the social media of the theater department, especially to show what's going on with the show, what's going on with future productions.
I can go in any direction that I want.
I want to give my best and I want to do my best here.
And welcome back here to Heston. The Larks and Raiders all battling up here as we head to the top of the 6th. I get a birthday shout out to Anissa. Happy birthday, sister. Good luck. Love your big brother, Cruz. Top of the 6th for Ashton Gibson. Gibson 1 for 2. And she looks at a pitch downstairs from Chelsea Smith. And the 1-0. That missing downstairs, and the count now 2 balls and no strikes to Gibson. Gibson did single in her first at bat, and then grounded back to Chelsea in her last one. So she, like we said, 1 for 2. Chelsea finding the bottom corner of the zone for the strike. And the count 2 balls, 1 striking out now to Gibson. That is a ground ball up the middle, base hit for Gibson. That ball had eyes, found the hole, and Gibson aboard. Her second single of the game. That brings up Shelby Bank. Bank singled her last at bat. That's right up the middle. Chelsea knocking it down, throws over to Bowie in time. Chelsea, nice play there after that hot shot came right back up the middle. And there's one out. Check Chelsea, see if she's okay. She's out there on the pitcher's plate grinning. And there's one away here with a runner aboard for Central. Tori Mullen is 0 for 2. Andy Sharp going to go out and talk things over real quickly with his infield. So they want to talk some defensive numbers over, what they want to do. Again, so Lark women in action tomorrow night in basketball at 6 o'clock. Both teams will be in action hosting Highland Community College on Saturday at 1 and 3. The second to last home game of the season for the Larks. So Mullen stepping in with the runner on second. And Chelsea misses downstairs. Chelsea deals. That's a fly ball left side. Lexi going back. Lexi makes a running snag and slides after the catch. A nice play by Lex out there. And there's 2 away for Chloe Miller, who's now moved into the role of pitcher. It's a great play by Lex out there on a sliding catch. This field in excellent shape for February. And there's a good pitch from Chelsea right at the knees for a strike to Miller. Miller's 0 for 2. She's gone down looking twice. Chelsea's dad saying, "Chelsea tough as nails, I believe it. I don't want to get in a rumble with her." That one misses inside, and the count 1 ball, 1 strike. Miller, like we said, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. As we're even with 1 ball, 1 strike. That one's fouled back into the fencing area, the screen. Like we said, I like the screen. I really do like the screen. I think it's a great idea. They have it at both baseball and softball. You can see right through it here for Hesston High School. Hopefully when the college builds their field or goes into that, they look into the screen and the netting. I think it works out really well. That one inside and low, and we're even 2 balls, 2 strikes here to Miller. So a bunch of 2s up there on the scoreboard. That one's fouled back into the fence, the screen fence, one more time. So Miller doing her best Bee Gees impression by staying alive. Yeah, I can say that. I'm that old. And the count now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chelsea deals one more time. Swing and a miss, and Miller goes down for the 3rd time today, striking out. That is strikeout number 9 for Chelsea, and we will go to the bottom of the 6th. Larks lead 6-1. Back after this here on the Lark Network.
Generation is on the forefront because of different discoveries in genetics and chemistry. I have a professor that's passionate about it, It helps me kind of realize the potential of the field.
What are problems that you, as you grow up as students, are going to have to deal with? And the more informed you can be, the better prepared you're going to be. There's this constellation of different interests that students often have and are able to move out and head in different directions.
College was the best decision that I could have made for the first 2 years of college. I'm a go-getter, a thinker, I like to be challenged, and I'm getting all that here at Heston. I'm living in a mod with people from all around the world, which is feeding my thirst for a broader worldview. I'm on a first name basis with my teachers, which is really emphasizing this community that is so present at Heston. And so I'm really glad that I chose to start here at Heston College because I've been given the tools and the mindset to go everywhere.
And welcome back here to the bottom of the sixth for the Larks, as the Larks with the 6-1 lead. In the home opener here for Heston. Paige stepping in. She started everything off in the last inning with a single, scored a run. So Paige 1 for 2 with her first hit of the season. Wind picking up just a little bit out there. And Paige chasing one downstairs, golfing a foul. Haven't got any emails either. You can drop us a line. GoLarks@Heston.edu. That's on the ground at Gerloff. Gerloff plays it off the hop, and a nice stretch by Townsend once again. Gerloff could have been eaten up by that ball, but played it perfectly. And that brings up Nissa. Niss will step in. Niss takes a pitch outside. Now, by my scorebook, I've got Niss 0 for 2, reaching on a couple errors, but I was always taught to be a hard scorer, so to speak. I am not official. Niss on the ground of the second baseman. That is kicked, but a nice footwork by Brennig. Pele kicks it over to Townsend. A fortunate bounce, and even Niss, again, all she can do is laugh on the 4-3 on the putout. That was a right place, right time for the left foot of Brennig. And they're 2 away. Boo hit a sacrifice fly and drove in a run. And Boo looks at one downstairs. Boo 0 for 1 with a run driven in. That's a base hit right back up the middle, and Boo has a single. And her first hit on the season. With the grounder up the middle, and that brings up Jenna. And I think Shea Hoover coming in to run for Boo. So Shea will come in. So Shea, the sophomore from Potwin, Kansas. That brings up Jenna Garcia, who laid the perfect bunt down and then scored a run. Kind of started things off. And Jenna looks at a ball downstairs. 2 away here in the bottom of the sixth. Shea taking off and running, and Shea with an awkward slide, but she's safe over there at second base. So Shea gets a swipe for her trouble. And the count evens up at a ball and a strike. That one too far outside. And they count 2-1. Jenna taps it foul. And they count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jenna, known on the team as Jenna G, because there's also Jenna Schneider, so she's Jenna S. Jenna, a little tapper, that's foul, off from the left side. And the count still remaining 2 balls, 2 strikes. Larks in front 6-1. Jenna looks at one outside, and we're full 3 balls and 2 strikes. That is on the ground. Miller can't come up with a Gerloff throw over, and Jenna aboard with a single. Jenna's second single of the day, and that brings up Jessie Miranda with 2 outs. Jenna has 2 singles on the day, and her average will rocket upwards as she's now 2 for 3. And 2 for 6 overall, so she's hitting .333. Jessie lays the bunt down, but it's fouled off. You make sure I got the runners in the right spot here. Runners at the corners with 2 outs. So Jessie laid a bunt single down, scored a run with a ribby. She's 2 for 3. And 3 for 9 on the season. Jessie, little flare, and that will be gloved. A nice diving catch out there by Pinkelman. Pinkelman takes a base hit away, but the damage done. Larks still lead 6-1. Or 7-1. Oh, 6-1. We'll be back after this on the Lark Network.
When we all work together to see what we can collaborate on and how things are going to work together.
I really love that moment when I see a student finally connect with their character. I stop seeing them and I begin seeing the character.
It was important for us to get a page up for managing the social media of the theater department, especially to show what's going on with the show, what's going on with future productions.
I can go in any direction that I want.
I want to give my best, and I want to do my best here.
And welcome back to the City Ball Diamond. Such a habit with softball. We're at the Heston High School field. Normally the Heston Larks play at the City Ball Diamond, but this, with the renovations going on and the holding pattern the City Ball Diamond is in, the Larks were fortunate enough to be able to partner up with Heston High School to play this game here today, and getting, to be quite honest, a fortunate break on a very nice softball field. Alyssa Doherty did double. She doubled in the only run of the game for Central. As we're in the top of the 7th, Larks leading at 6-1. Doherty takes the ball downstairs from Chelsea. Chelsea had pitched in 4 innings yesterday, so she's working on inning number 11 today. That's a little flare that will drop in front of Niss out there for the base hit, and Doherty has her second hit of the ball game, and she's aboard. That brings up Grace Townsend. Townsend 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out. And Coach Sharp heading out to talk things over, what they want to do defensively with a 6-run lead. You don't want to try and do too much. I guess you just want to focus in on the batter. And it looks like Chelsea's going to be done for the afternoon. They're going to turn the ball over to Amy Brutato. So Amy coming in from the DP role to pitch. And we'll be back after the warm-ups here on the Lark Network.
Generation is on the forefront because of different discoveries in genetics and chemistry. I have a professor that's passionate about it. It helps me kind of realize the potential of the field.
What are problems that you, as you grow up as students, are going to have to deal with? And the more informed you can be, the better prepared you're going to be. There's this constellation of different interests that students often have and are able to move out and head in different directions.
Generation is on the forefront because of different discoveries in genetics and chemistry. I have a professor that's passionate about it. It helps me kind of realize the potential of the field.
What are problems that you, as you grow up as students, are going to have to deal with? And the more informed you can be, the better prepared you're going to be. There's this constellation of different interests that students often have and are able to move out and head in different directions.
And welcome back here to the Hesston High School softball field, the Hesston Sports Complex, as they like to call it. Amy Brutato coming in to pitch as Chelsea works 6 innings. And this will bring up Grace Townsend. Townsend 0 for 2. And Amy missing downstairs. Amy pitched yesterday. She pitched in 2 games through 3 2/3 inning. Gave up 5 hits, a run, 1 earned run, struck out 1. And paints the lower outside corner for the strike, and the count evens up at 1-1. Amy takes a little bit of something off that one, and that dances in for the strike. That one tapped foul and will roll down the third baseline. Swing and a miss. And Townsend out on strikes. However, Doherty will go advance to second base. As first base was occupied. First strikeout of the game for Amy. Shelby Gerloff steps up. She's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Was hit by a pitch, but stranded out there at second base. That one just missing inside. That one cuts in. Well, it has some movement, some type of curveball or screwball, whichever way you want to call it, but it definitely it's dancing, and that count evens up at a ball and a strike. On the ground at Amy. Amy snaps the throw over to Boo, and they get the out. And so there are 2 away. Sydney Brenning is 0 for 2. And Brennick takes a strike. That one missing outside. And the count evens up at 1-1. Amy dances another one of those off-speed curves in, and we're now 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Brennig. That one missing upstairs. And Amy just wasting one upstairs, trying to get Gerloff to chase, or excuse me, Brennig to chase. We're even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Strike 3 called, and Brennig goes down, and that will do it. Our final here from Game 1. Larks take Game 1 6-1 over Central. We'll take a break and be back with the start of Game 2 right here on the Lark Network.